Little red light means we're recording. Okay. All right, you ready to do this?
I'm ready. Oh, God, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Just do it. All right, so welcome back to Tales from the Service Industry. I'm Bill. I'm joined by Miss B again.
Hello.
Welcome back, Miss B. Always a pleasure to have you.
Happy to be here.
And we have a new guest host with us tonight, joining us for the first time ever. Welcome to Allie.
Hi, everyone.
So Miss B and I, it's no secret that we come from the hotel industry. Allie is actually joining us from the retail sector. So I hate to put you on the spot, but we're going to. Could you share a little bit about your career history with us?
So I've been in the retail space for about 12 years. I've worked in the field as well as corporate for some major big box corporations, kind of spanning through the lingerie industry, the cosmetic industry, where you get all your typical goods industry. So been in it for a minute, and now I am in the hospitality industry. So it's been a little bit of a ride. Got some stories to share. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, you could have stopped at lingerie. I was on board.
Most men are. They hear that and they're like, what? So
yeah, please tell us stories from that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me tell you, I got all the stories.
All right. Well, we want to hear them all.
All right.
Miss B, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Okay, I'm pretty excited. You have stories from the lingerie industry?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God, please.
Where do I begin? I guess I'll start with, do I start with my most traumatizing one that still irks me to my core, or?
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna save that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one, oh God, just even thinking about it makes me want to cry.
Oh, I'm excited to hear about it later.
Save the juiciest for a little deeper into the episode.
Okay. I mean, being in the lingerie industry, or, even though it's the retail space, I have seen it all.
Ooh.
I mean, you name it, I have seen it. And I mean, I was fresh.
Do you mean like behavior, or do you mean body parts?
I was thinking the same thing.
Both. I've seen literally everything. And I mean, I was fresh out of high school.
Oh.
So, I mean, I just was not expecting any of this.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I was in a very small town, a little more naive before I ventured into a more major city where I saw even more crazy stuff. But yeah, I will never forget. Actually, I was 18 years old. My very first job. Oh, man.
I'm excited.
It's crazy because it feels like this was yesterday, but it was like 13 years ago. And I remember my manager, well, at the time I was called like a bra specialist.
Okay.
That was my title. And so I remember my manager was calling me into the fitting room, and she was like, how many clients did you let into the room?
Right.
And I was like, it was like just like a mom and a daughter, and the rest of the fitting rooms were empty. And she's like, oh, no, there's like more than 2 people in here. And I'm like, like, what are you talking about? Like, because I was out on the floor and she was in the fitting room. And I remember she's like, I need you like to look underneath, because, you can see like people's feet and stuff. Oh my God.
Oh no.
So we have, like the larger, you already know where this is going.
No, I have no idea where it's going, but just the look of discomfort on your face.
Is my face really red? Probably.
It looks like you've been at the beach, yes.
Because I was 18 years old. I mean, I just like had no idea. And this literally feels like it was yesterday. And so we go in, I look underneath the larger fitting room because it was fairly large. And I see guys' feet right here. And girls, like females' feet right there.
Right behind.
And then you just hear what was going on.
Let me guess. Toes were all facing the same direction?
Of course, absolutely. And so I was just like, my manager was like, why did you let them in here? Like, what is going on? I was like, lady, like, I didn't do that on purpose. Like that was all on accident. And then I was like, okay, so I guess that's what's going on in the fitting room.
So did you break it up?
Yeah, I freaking opened up I didn't open up the door, but like obviously I had a key to all the fitting rooms. And so when you would knock, it was this super loud, obnoxious knock.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me, like, how's everything going in there? Like, because you can't like accuse
Just
anyone.
fine.
Hey, stop blinking.
Exactly. And so I knocked on the door, and obviously they got fucking scared out of their mind because they're like, who's knocking on the door? And then like you see the feet like go immediately apart. It was so awkward, so embarrassing. And the number of times that happened,
No.
I can't even. I mean,
Are you serious?
if I had $1 for every time that happened, I probably would never need a job because people would like get off on that.
Inside of a retail store?
Yes, it was disgusting.
Are you kidding?
And the amount of product I would have to damage out because they would wear it. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh, that's messed
it's
up.
disgusting. Like lingerie, you know what I mean? Like it was
gross.
It was really, really gross. So that was my introduction into retail. Had no idea that could even happen fairly often.
So I have a question. So like a girl's coming to like try on lingerie and a guy's just like with her.
Yes.
Do they let them into the room together?
No. So that's the thing. That's why when my manager was like, how many people were in there? I was like, 2, like a mom and a daughter.
Yeah.
And so obviously like I exited, because
the way they snuck in there.
Yes. Yeah. So the girl was like, oh, hey, come to this room. Because all the rooms had like fancy names. Like Rome, Capri, Saint Tropez, like all these stupid names.
Because dressing room 1, 2,
Exactly.
3, 4
No,
was
they
not
had
cool
to have
enough.
like these exotic
That's so
names.
Macy's.
Yeah. Oh my God. The amount of times that would happen. And again, at the time, I was just like, I was fresh out of high school. You know what I mean? Obviously, I knew that happened, but like not in a freaking retail store.
Did you ever get desensitized to it, or was it just kind of like shocking every time?
It was shocking every time. I would see all ages. All ages. Here's the thing. It would freak me. Okay. It wasn't the older ones that would freak me out. It was the younger ones that would freak me out.
How young?
I mean, like, dude, 13.
What?
I am not exaggerating. I swear, 13-year-olds.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
You better call their parents.
Dude, it was wild. I was just like, if I was their parents, oh my God. Oh, speaking of calling parents.
Ooh, do tell.
Oh my God. So people would steal all the time. And so sometimes if they're 13 years old, I have no problem calling you out for stealing. What are you gonna do? What happens?
Cry.
Exactly. Their parents would call the store, be like, hey, I need to speak to Allie. She like accused my daughter of stealing a thong. Oh my God. Again, if I had $1 for every time that happened.
You're kidding.
There and cosmetics all the time.
That's bold.
It is bold.
Because aren't there cameras?
Yes. And that was the thing. I would never accuse unless I got you on camera. If I got you on camera, there is no way you can take legal action for me because I have you on film, right?
Yeah.
And so
putting the panties in your pocket.
They put panties freaking everywhere. They're brawled, they're down their pants and their boyfriend's pants.
Oh,
it's wild.
It's called the prison purse, by the way.
So what does that mean? Wait,
we talked about that.
Wait, the prison purse? What is that?
You have a prison purse. I don't.
Oh, I get it now. Oh my God. Ew. I will never use that.
Right.
But some do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
So how many, you called a lot of parents?
I mean, no, I didn't call parents. I would get parents call me. I called the store.
What did you say?
Because you would call the kids out on stealing.
Yeah, because I would call the kids out on stealing. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like that is our bottom line and it comes out of my paycheck. And so, and also like, I'm sorry, like you're going to freaking steal. Like you're 13 years old. Like, come on.
Wait, so did you just call them out or did you like get them in trouble too?
There's nothing we could do. Like, so. Like,
well, then it sounds like you're being nice.
I was so freaking nice. I mean, there would be like mall security, but what do they do? Nothing. And so I would call them out. And so then 2 hours later, get a phone call. Hey, my daughter was in your store like 2 hours ago. Said you accused her of stealing and then like cussed me out, say they're going to take legal action and all this crazy stuff. But they never did because there was nothing they could do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened a lot.
That's insane.
I mean, I guess we don't get that in hospitality.
Oh, you do.
Yeah?
In a different way.
In a different way.
And I guess yeah. How so? Because I never worked like, in the front. So I guess I wouldn't.
For me.
You've never worked ops?
No, I've always been HR.
So for me, it's usually like get a lot of people cut off at the bar, at the restaurant, my hotel.
That makes sense.
I'm going to sue you.
That makes sense.
Or, we have to kick them out for one reason or another because of misbehavior. I'm going going to sue you. I had one guy fall, which by the way, he was like belligerently drunk and then fell.
Best.
And then they were saying how it was not safe and they were going to sue us. Like we get that all the time.
No, I guess
But
that
not
makes sense.
like
But not like,
that.
or like you don't get parents calling.
No.
Nope, because you have to be 18 to stay in a hotel.
Right. That's true.
You don't let 13-year-olds into our rooms.
They try.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, no, the thing is, there'd be half of them probably weren't even 13. They could have been younger.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's just gross. I don't know.
The only time that I've had problems with kids in the hotels
Yeah.
have been when parents have rented the rooms for their underage
them.
kids. Yeah. So like, proms, formals, whatever. One of my favorites was from back when I lived on Maui. Parents had rented a room for their senior, juniors, whatever they were. Everybody's partying. And this one girl drank way too much.
Oh.
Underage, drinking red wine.
Ooh, that's a
Ouch.
rough one.
Very important detail is that this entire hotel is brilliant white.
I was going to say,
whole thing.
probably what, white carpet?
She's on the balcony, loses her beverage. Like she throws up. She's so drunk, she purges
God.
from like the 10th floor all the way down. There's red wine vomit along the entire
Good.
length of this building.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Parents were charged thousands of dollars in damage because they had to bring in high lifts. They had to,
Right.
I mean, everything had to be painted.
Oh.
It was rough.
That's gnarly.
And the parents didn't want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
That's crazy.
But it's a great example of you got to take responsibility for your own
Well,
actions.
exactly.
Parents don't like to do that though. So I worked at a specific hotel where there's, a lot of
It was a themed hotel.
themed hotel.
It was a hotel based on children's building blocks.
Yes.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And so there would be like mini sculptures in the rooms with these mini building blocks.
Got it.
And when people, most of the time kids, would
Yeah.
damage them by climbing on them and doing the things that parents let them do when they
Yeah.
don't care, they would damage it and they would get charged a lot of money. And they would always try to dispute it and argue it. And we'd be like, it wasn't broken when you went in.
Yeah.
And it's broken when you left. Well, that's ridiculous. How come we have to pay that much? And it's like, that is literally basically a person's piece of art that they put together.
Exactly.
But they would be arguing with parents
No, that's ridiculous.
because your kid misbehaved because you didn't watch them properly.
Right. Which is, I feel like,
Because you suck as a parent.
I would say, which is like a lot of parents. How do you get to that point? I mean,
I wasn't there when I was that age.
no, when
Holy
I was, I
crap.
think I always remember like buying my first thong because that was like a pivotal moment for a lot of people. I was I was like in 7th grade.
For a lot of people, or not just yourself?
No, not just me. I mean,
A lot of people remember my first thong.
no.
What?
No, I meant for like a lot
Oh,
of,
I get it.
Okay.
like you remember buying your first thong? Like that's a big deal.
It's a milestone moment.
It is.
I didn't boink anyone while I was doing it though.
No, me either. But I swear they all did it in where I worked.
Wow. That's wild.
And I'm sure it's still like that.
What else? What other kind of stuff did you have to deal with while you
Ooh,
were there?
and who had to clean the floors?
Overnight cleaning crew.
Actually,
Really?
Because I mean, gravity
You?
works.
So it depends. So when I was working in San Francisco, so we actually had a cleaning crew there because it was one of their flagship locations. So we had the money. But when I was in my hometown, you're looking at the cleaning crew.
Oh.
Not fun. Not fun at all.
Should have been charged a cleaning fee.
Yeah, we had to damage a lot of stuff out.
Dang.
Yeah, it was gross.
That's nasty.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, the stuff I saw in the city was a lot nastier.
well, especially San Francisco.
Oh my God, it was disgusting. I mean, we would get like a lot of like prostitutes, hookers come in.
What?
I mean, yeah, like that's very typical and normal in that city. And so
Yeah, but you wear a uniform to work.
I wouldn't think they'd pay that much for their uniform.
yeah, but they would try and walk out wearing it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they would put on like lingerie. I mean, yeah, we had sensors and stuff. They would cut it out with a scissor or like a wire cutter and just, I know it's just so freaking ridiculous.
Wow.
And just walk out in actual lingerie on the Union Square. Literally, I was on Union Square.
What other kind of stuff did you have to deal with? This is so interesting.
A lot of people urinating and
In the dressing rooms?
everywhere,
You're
relieving themselves.
Kidding.
There, I had to deal with that there as well as the cosmetic
Okay,
realm.
wait. I got to ask a question.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a lingerie store that is focused on a female customer.
Yes.
And women are peeing in the dressing rooms?
What?
But that happened mainly when I was living in San Francisco. And there was a homeless population.
Right.
The type of clientele was very different where I was from.
I gotcha.
So that's why it happened a lot more.
So
But
it was girls
yes.
just popping a squat
Yep. Oh, yeah.
inside of a store.
Everywhere. It's crazy. They hide it very, very
Wow.
well.
My mind's blown right
Wet
now.
floor sign, paper towels, towels. Yep. You name it. Like we literally would immediately be like, hey, I need you to come over to area 1, area 2 immediately.
Oh my God, I bet your flight attendant visited.
Clean up on aisle 69.
Wait, what is that about?
Do you remember?
The
one
flight
they-
attendant, the one that was upset that they got their layover station changed to a different hotel. And the
pee
way
on-
she would protest is she would grab all the towels, throw them in the bathtub, and then pee on them.
What? No way.
It's in an earlier episode.
It
That's
is much earlier.
wild.
But if you haven't listened to it, basically she was just trying to protest the fact
Right.
that they didn't want to be at that hotel.
Oh my
I
God.
bet she visited your store.
Probably. I
Well-
think she was one of those.
Well, it's possible because the flights that she was on originated out of San Francisco. So
Oh, my God.
I think it's a sign. She probably was one of those.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
odds aren't good, but
Nope.
odds are there.
Boinking, peeing. This is crazy.
It sounds a lot like being on an airplane.
Oh my God.
Kind of.
So do you want to, speaking of, using improper facilities.
Yes.
You know
That's a
that-
very nice way to say it. But yes.
I was trying to find a fancy way to say it. At my job, this was just a few months back, someone utterly destroyed a restroom. And this was, of course, on one of the weekend nights. Yeah. Of course, it was on the weekend nights. We have a very lively restaurant that, it attracts a very lively clientele that does wild things, and some of them to which I've spoken on.
Yes.
So one night, a guest comes to the desk and is like, yeah, I think you guys want to check the restrooms. I think there is something happened in there, but was like kind of traumatized and didn't really elaborate
Wait,
beyond
so
that.
I guess said that.
Yep.
Okay.
And so someone went to go check the restroom, and they went in to find human fecal matter had been spread all over the walls
Ew. What the?
and everywhere. It was like so traumatizing. The associate like freaked out and ran out. And again, we are in a very upscale area, and that is not normal. And
Yeah.
that restroom, which was right next to the restaurant, right next to the lobby, went out of order for days. As, they took care of it, but also, treated it, and they brought in an outside company because, from hospitality world, you're not going to make your normal run-of-the-mill housekeeper have to go deal with that.
Right.
That's not.
No, because that puts you into a hazmat situation.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was literally quarantine and with caution tape, the yellow tape everywhere. No one could go in for days.
Did people come in with like the whole suits and everything, or?
They should have.
I was like,
Most
yeah.
likely, I was not there for the cleaning of it, but I assume yes, because that is a biohazard, right?
Biohazard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those guys that are going to clean it up are going to be covered head to toe,
Right,
masks,
exactly.
goggles.
Yeah, the whole nine.
Whole nine.
Yeah.
Orc. Yeah, my hotel where I'm at actually goes the extra mile. Like most of my other hotels, when we find drugs in the room, we
Yeah.
just flush it down the toilet. I have a picture on my phone right now of cocaine that was found in the room in several different baggies. This was actually yesterday, and we call in a whole third party to clean and like make the room. I don't know. It's for me. I'm like, what? I used to just put that in the toilet.
Yeah.
They bring in a whole third party to do like a full sanitizing and cleaning.
Well,
good.
are they worried like it's like laced with something?
I don't know, but literally it was 2 baggies of cocaine, which by the way, they were pretty
full?
full. Yeah. I'll show you pictures.
And,
Like someone
I'm
left
curious.
money. Yeah.
Interesting. How like who was like staying there? Like,
They're always one-nighters.
yeah.
They're one night quick stayers that,
Interesting.
I go notate the reservation.
Yeah. Let me see. Damn, those bags were full.
I know.
What the?
I texted
Where-
the bill over here and he's like, oh, that's nice. Somebody turned it in.
Seriously, like wait.
Well, at least it got logged into
I'm like,
lost and
did they
found.
use any of that
But you
or
see how
no?
full that is?
Dude, did they even use any of it? Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
That's wild. Yeah, I feel like I haven't even heard of any of those type of stories.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's fun. You kind of just become desensitized to
Well, I
it.
mean, I'm sure you get it all the time.
That's why I asked. I'm like, do you kind of just become used to it?
I mean, with that, yes. Like, I think like my first few times for me, I was like, oh my God, people like do this in public. Like, oh my God, I'm not used to that. Cause it's like little Miss Innocent Allie, I had no idea.
Aww.
And yeah,
Innocent?
at the time, but I had no idea what was happening. Oh yeah, I've seen it all.
Oh my gosh, that's so wild. You said you've worked in the retail cosmetic area.
Correct. Yes.
What's some of the craziest stuff you've seen there?
Oh my God, where do I begin? So I was in that space for about 7 years. So I started in the field, then I worked my way up to corporate. So I have seen, speaking on fecal matter, I was opening up Times Square location in New York.
Oh.
Which was the highest volume store in the country.
Wow.
Huge opportunity. I was shitting myself, no pun intended, on what's to come, on that whole situation. And so it was a really, really big deal. And I remember the Times Square location just opened. And there, is like the whole registers and everything. And this lady who was homeless walks up next to the register and just lifts her dress, pops a squat, and just starts letting it all out.
No.
And I was like the guest visitor for that location because I just opened it up. And I'm like, okay, like who's going to clean this up? Because it's not going to be me this time.
Did you stop her?
No. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, hey,
Ma'am,
stop pooping?
can you stop pooping?
No, literally everyone was looking at me like, WTF, like what's going on?
Were you just shocked? Were you frozen?
Here, it's New York. I mean, that's normal there. What? Yeah, so I've dealt with lots of fecal situations. It happens so much more than people think, but just like no one ever sees it. But I've seen it every time. The smell, you guys.
My mouth is just agape.
I literally will never forget that smell.
I am literally turning inside out. I'm cringing
I'm
so
sorry.
hard.
Is this too much?
No, this is great.
This is crazy.
Like I can go on and on.
Please.
I literally will never forget this. She was wearing this red maxi dress. I wish I could like reenact it for you because I literally can.
I mean, you can. We'll laugh.
She walks up to the side of we call it the cash wrap, the register, right?
Yeah.
This red maxi dress kind of looks like she's from, I don't know, Oklahoma or something. That's what I would imagine, like the Midwest. not from California or New York. Okay. And I remember she had this black backpack on. I remember Broadway was right next door.
They always have backpacks.
Playing Aladdin. Sorry, like I literally remember this so vividly.
Wow. Playing Aladdin?
No, Aladdin.
Rewind.
What?
No, Aladdin was the
Aladdin
play
was the
door.
play at Broadway.
Okay.
That was side note. So I remember this lady like weasels her way over to the cash wrap, lifts her maxi dress, and just like literally squats and just starts pooping.
Does she say anything?
No.
Did she make eye contact?
No, thank God. Oh my God. Could you imagine? But I was staring.
Like watching your cat in the litter box.
You done? Okay. After she did the deed, did she just leave?
Yes. No, so she had to be on drugs or something. Like
or not on drugs.
Or not. I mean, it's New York. I don't know much about New York, but all I know is that is not the city for me.
All you know is that random people walk in your store and crap in front of your register.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so I remember I went up to one of the beauty advisors and I was like, what just happened? This is crazy. And he was like, yeah, that like typically happens. We're in New York City in Times Square.
Yeah, that's Karen. She comes in every Tuesday.
Typical Karen.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm not made out for this. I'm from California and they don't do that there. So bye. Oh. I could not wait to get back on that plane to California.
Holy cow.
So yeah, I'll tell you, that was the last time I went to New York to open up a store.
Did you agree with them?
Who is?
Yep. God, thank you. Who would put up with that? Mm-hmm. Because they would send me out to random ass states, like all over the place. And I mean, I dealt with everything very well, but that, dude, you ain't paying me enough to deal with a lady shitting next to the cash wrap.
My mouth has been pretty much, you guys can't see my face. It's been pretty much just staring in shock with my mouth open, staring at Allie the whole time. From hospitality, I thought I've dealt with and seen everything. And that is...
Really?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Holy
I've
cow.
had people do terrible things like that, but normally we see a very different type of bad behavior. We don't see, the homeless come in and crap in front of the register. We get to see the people that are coming in that are committing identity theft. We get the people that are doing drugs, dealing drugs, they're making drugs. There was one time where I had a hotel that I was at that we had a meth lab that people came in and set up.
Oh,
That's wild.
Yeah, I was walking down the hallway one night and I'm like, what the hell
what
is that smell? I did not know what it was.
Yeah.
And one of the security guards we had at the hotel was a police officer, and he would moonlight 2 days a week doing security with us. And I remembered that he was on, so I called him.
Yeah.
He came up and he's like, oh, we got to call 911. I'm like, why? He's like, they're making meth. I'm like, you can tell by the smell? He's like, yeah, let's go before it blows up.
That's insane.
That is kind of crazy.
You know what's funny too is I've been in the industry a while, but I'm still early what I would consider my career.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I happen to text or call veterans who do.
Yeah.
And I remember at my last property, there was a bathtub full of stuff and then all these chemicals surrounding it. And I literally texted a picture and I sent it to Bill, and I was like, Bill, are they making drugs? And you're like, what did you say?
I don't remember.
You said something like, no, but they're not cleaning their clothes very well. Like, it was just a bunch of laundry detergent and chemicals. And he said something to that effect. Like,
that's funny.
Not drugs, but.
Oh my God.
So you also mentioned that you've done a lot in HR. What?
Yeah.
I have a lot of crazy stories myself of different employee issues or HR related things. Like, what's some of the craziest stuff you've seen in that sector?
I mean, it's all sex related.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
People love to get it on.
At work?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. Now I have one.
Yes, I'm ready.
Crazy employee story. So I have to pull up my list because I have been a part of a lot of.
No, I feel like you got a list of them.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. So, okay, I'll start with this one. This was at one of my recent companies, not the one I'm currently at, but just talk about boldness. Okay. And just, but to your point, you just said, your manager had a heart of gold. They felt really bad. I have fallen into that trap a lot, and I've had to learn from that because I'm not gonna, I do have a tough side. I broadcast that here. I'm like, oh, what I do, this and that. I am kind of
softy.
I'm squishy in the middle.
You're very squishy.
I know, but
I know.
I like to come across as hard and tough.
You do, but you're a softy.
I'm squishy in the middle. And I interviewed this girl, and this was when I was a director of housekeeping, and she spoke English. She didn't speak any Spanish, which was kind of odd to apply for a housekeeper position because most of them speak fluent Spanish, or even if they speak English, they also speak Spanish. And how she even got to the interview stage is she had housekeeping experience. And so, she gets there, and I always bring a translator, but she spoke fluent English. She didn't speak any Spanish. And I was like, oh, that's different, but I didn't say that. And I went through the whole interview. She was so sweet and so kind and soft-spoken. And I'm like, why do I want this job? She's like, well, I'm currently a housekeeper, but I just want something closer to home. I want to spend more time with my daughter. My heart just melted during the whole interview. And I think I got a bit of what are they called? Rose glasses?
Rose colored glasses.
Yeah. I'm a mother myself, and our kids were around the same age. And, she just talked about wanting to spend more time with her kid and wanting to be closer to home. And just, I feel like that kind of blindsided me a bit. Not blindsided, fogged, did the whole rose colored glasses thing. So I didn't maybe ask as many questions as I should have, and more technical questions. And then, she got hired, and problems on problems. So she had apparent room attendant experience on her resume, right? So she gets paired with a room attendant, and she's just not cutting it. She's not picking it up. It got to the point where the room attendants were getting frustrated, and she just wasn't doing it. So they just assign her a spot. So they're like, okay, you're just going to clean this bathroom. They do the whole bedroom, and she wouldn't even be finished with the bathroom by the time they were done with the bedroom. And they're like, what are you doing? And they were getting really frustrated because she's just like, you're supposed to have this experience. It's one thing if we know you've never done it before.
Yeah.
Then we start you from scratch, how to do this, how to do that. But she had it on her resume. and she just was not cutting it. And so I paired her with different trainers because I thought, oh, maybe she's just being a little too hard and maybe it's been a minute and she forgot. And so I paired her, and then we started like from the beginning training, and she still was not getting it. She wasn't fast. She was taking an ungodly amount of time to do a room. And Bill, you can attest to this. Like, you're expected to work quickly, and she just was not. And so what I did was, again, out of the kindness of my heart, she was so sweet to me. She'd come in and be like, I don't feel like I'm going to do a good job. I feel like the girls hate me and this and that. And
Go with that feeling.
I should have. And I was just like, okay. So I switched her role because we had an opening in public spaces. And public spaces is a little less demanding than being a room attendant. So I put her in public spaces. I'm like, you can't mess that up. Like, white, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. There's no way. Like, I put her in that. Because again, I'm not proud of this, but I felt bad. I felt for her. My heart, like, went out. And I got nothing but complaints from just other public attendants, from other supervisors. And at one of the point, at first, I'm like, maybe they're just picking on her because she's the only English speaking housekeeper.
A little rare.
Because that's
rare.
And I'm like, maybe they're picking on her because she told me, she's like, I feel really excluded in the lunchroom. Like, nobody talks to me. And so I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
But at one point, one of the supervisors, she's like, come with me. And I go, and she shows me a countertop, and it's like a glass countertop. And it just looks like white stuff has been smeared all over it. I'm like, what the heck is this? She's like, Maria is the one that cleaned this. And I said, how does it even get like this? She's like, they used the completely wrong chemical.
No.
They should have used X. They used Z. And basically they used a bathroom cleaner instead of a window cleaner. And there's just these white streaks everywhere. It looks horrible. Like, there's no way you could see that and then just leave.
Right.
You could see how bad it looks.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh my God, this is bad. So I talked about it, show her. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And said all the right things. And I'm starting to get that ick feeling in my tummy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I made a mistake. And
it happens.
It's around then that, not the same day, but shortly after, she had gotten a number of marks in her attendance. So she was actually very close to the end. She was on a final.
Oh boy.
But for attendance, she had a lot of call-offs. But they were for legitimate reasons. Like, her
Doesn't matter.
I know. But her car gave out.
It literally does not matter. No. I'm sorry. It's black and white for me.
No.
Well,
she had legitimate reasons, but the points still stack up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I understand your car, you got into an accident, and she came to work with this terrible beaten up car. Like, it was legit, but the points still stack up, and you've had X amount of call-offs. And so she was on a final for attendance. And then there was this one day where I am doing stuff in my office. I get a call. And it's the director of human resources. And she goes, hey, Miss B, where is Maria? And I thought that was the oddest question. And I was like, I don't know. She's public attendant, so she's somewhere out in public. And she's like, I need you to call her to come to the front office. I need to talk with her. And I said, sure. Maybe it's a benefits question. I don't know. And so I call on the radio, be like, hey, Maria, where you at? And she's like, oh, I'm by the pool. I'm like, oh, okay. Would you mind coming down to the front office whenever you get a chance? She's like, yeah, you got it. And I'm like, okay. So I hang up the radio and I go back to my work, but I let human resources know, okay, let her know. She'll come down shortly. Okay, thanks. No big deal. Go about my business, doing whatever I'm doing. About 20 minutes later, I get another call. Be like, hey, you told her to come to front office, right? I'm like, yeah, like 20 minutes ago. She's like, she never came. That's weird. And she's like, I kind of want to let you in on what I think's happening. I said, okay. She said she was covering the front desk because this is during COVID times.
The HR person is covering the front desk?
The HR person's covering the front desk. And she said, my wallet's gone. And the only person back here was your public attendant. And I was like, no.
Yeah, this is crazy.
No. Yeah, no. She's such a sweet girl.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Of course, there's no way.
There's no way.
Absolutely not.
And she's like, do you know where she is? And I said, I don't. And I start to get oh my God. She's like, well, we need to find her.
Yeah.
Okay. So I head up to the top floor. And there's about 4 different associates. And we all hit it from different angles. And we start looking for this person.
Oh my God.
And I radio again. I said, hey, Maria, have you had a chance to go to the front desk yet? And she's like, oh, no, sorry. I got caught up cleaning something. I'm at the pool. I'll be there in a sec. Sorry, I got caught up cleaning a spill. I was like, okay, no worries. Yeah, just get there when you get a chance. And then so we're all sweeping down. I immediately went down to the pool. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
And the pool was not on like the main level. It was like a different level. And I went everywhere. She was nowhere to be found. And I radio and I was like, she's not at the pool. So everyone is sweeping from top to bottom. every crevice, every linen closet, everywhere from top to bottom. She's nowhere on that property. So then we start combing out. So we leave the property and we go into the parking lot, and I'm looking at cars. Like, I'm looking to see where I can find her. I'm on one side of the property. My GM joined in on the search, and she went on the other. She found her, and she was in her car leaving the property. And my GM stops her and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going?" She played dumb. And she's like, "Oh no, I can't." Like, she's like, I'm going to be fired. I just know they're going to fire me, and I just don't want to be around for that. And my GM, again, playing dumb. She's like, "Well, no one can fire you without my approval." She's like, "I don't know anything about this. Why don't you come in and let's talk about it? Come to my office. We'll figure this out. We'll talk about it. Just go ahead, just park. Like, we'll figure this out." And she's like, "Oh, okay, all right." And so what does she do? Drives away.
Of course.
So we all go and regroup. And the director of HR let us know. So she was covering the front desk, and my public attendant comes back to clean the area. And she was, my HR person was very meticulous. She knows where her things are. She knows exactly what she has. She's like, it was there, and then it was not. And she stole her wallet. But right after that, because again, we were all regrouping.
Yeah.
My GM told me that my public attendant went to the executive offices. And at this hotel, no one had the code to the executive offices except people who worked there. So nobody in housekeeping, none of that. They were very secretive about it. So Maria knocked on the door, and this is in the middle of the day. This was right after, but she hadn't noticed her wallet was gone. So my GM opens the door, and my public attendant's there, and she's kind of like surprised to see her. And she's like, "Oh, I'm here to vacuum the carpets and clear the trash." And my GM looks at her kind of like sideways and is like, "It's the middle of the day. We're okay.
We're fine.
We're fine. We don't need it." And so she tries to dismiss the conversation. My public attendant is very insistent. She said, "No, Miss B sent me up here. I have to clear the trash and vacuum the carpet." And my GM kind of like looks a little bit more. She's like, "No, I'm Miss B's boss. And if she has a problem with that, she can let me know, but we're good." And that kind of immediately like spidey sense tingled,
Yeah.
And she did not let her in, and she shut the door. And again, then right after that interaction, she went MIA, because I think she saw that my GM looked at her kind of like,
she knew
something's not right.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the call. That's when I looked for her. That's when I couldn't find her. And then shortly after, everything happened. Director of HR called the police. She filed a police report.
No way.
Yep. Me and my director of HR were super close. And I was like, you should just, because she was devastated. She was crying. She was upset that this wallet was sentimental. It was given to her by her late mother. And she's like, "I just want the wallet back. I don't care about the cards. I don't care about the cash. I just want the wallet back." And I said, "You should text her and just say, look, we know what happened and we can make it go away. If you leave the wallet, bring it back. Nothing had to happen. Nothing." But she's like, "I'm still pressing charges." I'm like, "Just say that."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay." So she said that. She just alluded to what had happened. She's like, "Look, I understand things happen. Just return the items and it'll go away." And sent it, but she was super upset. So the next day, a lot happened. Number one, the AM shuttle driver went to the shuttle in the morning. He found the wallet.
In the shuttle?
No, it was stuck underneath. So like right where someone could find it. So basically it wasn't like far underneath. It was right under where someone would step.
Yeah.
So they knew when the shuttle driver is going in at 5:30 a.m., they're going to see it right below. So they went, grabbed the wallet, turned it in the front desk.
Okay,
and
makes sense.
cash was gone, credit cards were in there, but the wallet got returned. So that day, like in the afternoon, because this was done around like 10, 11 a.m., throughout the afternoon, she would call me in my office and be like, "That just tried to use my card at Target." So she kept telling me all the places this person was stupid enough to try to go use the card. She tried to spend $300 at Target, $200 at Sephora, $400 at Best Buy. All these places it didn't go through because, you don't have this, you don't have that. So it got declined. The next day, my room attendants are cleaning the rooms. And it is customary that even when we have vacant clean rooms, we still go inspect them because you never know. Like sometimes front office will do room moves and they'll check someone into a room and the person wants to leave and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't touch a single thing in the room. I just walked in and walked out." And so they'll flip it to clean VR status and it won't actually be. So in housekeeping in the morning, we go check all the VR rooms to make sure they're clean. We find a room on the same floor as the pool with her radio, her name badge, a bunch of chips, drinks.
Like chips like Doritos?
Yeah. The bed's all messed up. The TV's on. So basically that person's just chilling out, watching TV with her soda, her drinks, her Cheetos, her radio. Because when she was gone and when she just took off, our radio was there. Because there's a radio and there's also an eye thing.
For sure.
It was all in the room, just posted up.
And that's why you didn't see her when she said she was at the pool.
Exactly. She's up there.
She was still on the radio channel and she was responding, but we couldn't find her anywhere.
That's wild.
Yeah. I got
no
way more.
thanks. I could not.
But I learned a lot. I was just, I learned to not
take in puppies.
Yeah. You feel bad.
I've never done that though. I don't understand people that can do that.
It's crazy.
But people do that.
What, take in
puppies?
The sad cases?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's
that's a red flag for me.
Bad. And
I mean,
I've learned
to a certain
extent.
That way yes, but no. If you can get the job done, bye.
I know. I mean, again, I learned early in my career. You just get taken.
You have a heart of gold. You have a heart of gold,
and we get kicked for it.
You are very kind, and I get that.
Okay, craziest firing story, guys.
I got one. Oh, this girl. Oh my God. What drives me crazy is her and her boyfriend just friend requested me on Instagram.
No.
To like be a part of like their joint Instagram. I'm like, I fucking hate you.
Oh my God. And you fired them?
You know me. I get along with everyone. I would say I'm fairly nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in San Jose. This girl. Again, my boss hired her because we were desperate.
Those are the worst.
And this is pre-COVID. So I don't think anyone knew desperation until even after COVID. So
right.
I'm going to be like, we really weren't desperate, but okay, sure. I could not stand this girl. This is the only time I have ever been spit on. Fingers shut in the door. I am surprised. I don't even.
Your fingers?
My fingers. This girl, we did not like each other. And you know me, like,
oh.
I would say I'm nice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Everyone gets along with me for the most part.
I would agree.
Yes, I have RBF. I understand that.
Join the club.
What?
Join the club.
Thank you. It's a thing. My boss literally just told me, side note, we were on a flight to Arizona a few days ago. And he was like, oh, like, we don't have to worry about anyone sitting next to us. And I was like, why? And he's like, oh, well, you have major RBF. So no one's going to want to sit next to you.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, you've known me for 2 weeks and you already know I have RBF.
That's so funny.
I do, but it's fine. So yeah, I did not like this girl. We did not get along. And for the year we worked together, we always butt heads. Like, I stand my ground. I say what I got to say.
Good.
Same with this girl. So she wasn't performing like at the level that she was going to. And so I went to my boss. I was like, hey, like, I think we need to put her on a performance improvement plan, blah, blah. And so I put her on this plan. She didn't agree with it. And so at the end of the 30 days, she wasn't performing. And so I told her like, pretty much she was getting fired, which is normal after like this type of improvement plan. And I remember I was in the office with my partner at work, and obviously she thought this was like coming from me.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, Allie, like, you're a CUNT. I can't believe like you're doing this to me. Like, I'm going to be homeless. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like, you're not performing at the level like you need to be. And then she stands up, and it was like me and my partner like right here. And then she was right here, right in front of us. And she was like,
and you got spit on?
Dude, I got off. Not on my freaking eye, but like all over my freaking face. She like hocked a loogie in my face.
Ew.
And it's like in the back office. Like, you don't think these things happen. I was like, okay, Al, keep her cool, right? And so this was a very, very small office. And so like I put my fingers, like, here's like the edge of the door. Yeah, I don't know, my fingers here. And she exits, slams the door. My freaking fingers were caught in the door. I was able to open it, but I was crying because I was like, oh my God, this is not good. My fingers were on fire. And then she ran out. She literally ran out.
Workman's comp.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
yeah.
I think I did file for workman's
would.
comp.
That's actually legit.
You should.
Yeah, well, because my boss observed it and she was like, what was that about? I was like, I don't freaking know. So that was a bad fire.
That sucks.
That was one of them.
Man. I have a lot.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
No, I do. And a lot of recent ones too. But I'm probably going to have to go with one of my most traumatic ones.
Tell me.
And this was not at my current job. I had this guy who had been hired before I was brought on, and the hotel had transitioned from one management company to another. So basically, when that happens, there's usually a mass exodus of staff.
Of course.
So they have to bring on a bunch of new staff at the same time. The hotel's still like up and running. So they have to replace people really fast.
Yeah.
And they'd honestly just hire anyone off the street. I mean, it's kind of
Sometimes.
true. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
So they hired a bunch of problem staff, and then I got brought on, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well you don't have to worry, we're fully staffed up." I'm like, "Oh wow, that's amazing."
That's
and then I
great.
come in, and the staff is beyond awful. Like customer service is abysmal. I don't know where they found these people. And one of these staff was just this gentleman who wouldn't smile, was very blunt, was honestly rude to guests. I got so many complaints about him, and every guest survey this person did came back terrible. And so I started holding my associates accountable, be like, look, you need to average out at X%. And then every survey that you get is negative. We're going to review together and we're going to go over them.
Yeah.
He had so many negative reviews.
Oh, no.
He got documented for them. Yep. And I wouldn't say just like one review, you get a documentation. No, I'm talking 3 or 4 negative reviews, you get 1 documentation. And then you move the next level up. Like he had so many documentations we got to his final. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like these are bad.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we try this? And he tried. Like, do you know what he did? Because he had no personality and was just honestly terrible. He bought a bag of chocolate. Okay. And each check-in, he would give a piece of chocolate to the guest, but in like the super creepiest way. Here's a
very
chocolate.
Strange.
And guests were then very flippin' creeped out about it. And
was this the guy that we worked with?
Yeah.
He's like, I know who that is. That sounds familiar.
And he had like, everyone was super creeped out. And so he was trying to, because again, he was on so many write-ups about bad surveys. He was trying to improve his surveys.
That's
so he
very
literally,
weird.
with his own money, went and bought a bag of chocolates. And he just do a check-in and then present them with the chocolate.
Here you
and
go.
say, you know, here you go.
Chocolate.
And they were just like, what the heck is wrong?
Wait, was it, weird question, was it individually wrapped?
Yeah. Just like this tiny little individually wrapped chocolate and give it to you.
What was the brand?
I don't want to say that, but it was small. It was square. It was blue. And, you know.
Okay, but those are so good.
I know they are.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm a chocolate fiend. So like,
I know.
Like if I got that, I would be happy.
No, but the way it was presented, the way it was done, people are just like,
right.
You're gonna murder me in my sleep. So obviously, eventually, he was being let go, and so I'm in the process. It's me and I didn't say much. It's the director of HR that pretty much takes over. And during the firing, he was just looking at me and saying, how could you do this to me? And was blaming me, be like, Miss B, you're doing this, Miss B, and hyper focused on me and got super aggressive. So much so that I was removed from the room. Like, you need to go.
No way.
And I was told to go back to my office and somebody else was brought in and then they continued the rest of the process. And apparently in the firing, they were saying like, this has nothing to do with her. This is about your performance, and they showed all the evidence, but he was hyper focused on me. Miss B is doing this to me.
Very creepy.
After this firing, the normal protocol is you walk someone off property, you watch them leave, they are gone.
Goodbye.
They just let him go out of the meeting space. Bye.
Didn't watch?
Nope. So what do you think he did?
Probably lingered, maybe.
He went past the front desk, back to my office, into my back office, into my office, cornered me in my office, started screaming and yelling at me, saying how I was ruining his family, how I was ruining his life. I was utterly terrified, cornered my office. He's blocking the exit. And I'm like thinking, this guy's going to hurt me. This is gonna I was freaking out. There was no panic button. I just
you couldn't stop it.
Yeah, and in my brain I'm trying to okay, I need to talk him down. So what I started doing is I'm trying to talk to him and be like, look, this doesn't have anything to do with me. Look, and I'm moving a bit to the left each time. But just slowly so he won't notice. And I'm moving a little bit to the left, and he's kind of mirroring my movements. And I get him to move enough where he's matching my body into that I can get out. So I got him to move enough so I could make a dart for the exit. And I run straight past the front desk. And then I literally run to HR. open the door, lock myself in there, lock it, and drop down on my knees. And HR is just looking at me like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And I'm crying. And I'm like, he just came to my office. He just did this and that. And they were like, oh my God. And they called 911. And they got their asses handed to them because they didn't follow proper procedure. And they let him essentially ambush me.
Oh, for sure. That's what it sounds like.
For a couple days after, he would actually come to the hotel and stand outside and just sit out there in the parking lot and wait. And so they were like, he's not stable.
Yeah.
And I got walked to my car for about 2-3 weeks until he gave up.
That's wild.
Yep. But yeah, that was probably one of my more traumatic firings,
Sounds like it.
you know. But I've had a lot of bad firings. We could do a whole episode on that.
We
But
should. Got more. I have. I have more. It's an Italian in me. I feel like I'm very like.
you just want to move
Look,
everywhere with your hands.
I like cannot talk without my hands. I don't know if I'm made for podcasts.
That's so funny.
Unfortunately, if we made her sit on her hands, she wouldn't say anything.
What is that?
Probably, because her mouth wouldn't work.
That's right.
Wait, what does that mean?
Try it. See if you can talk without using...
Because I need my hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've noticed that?
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean? I have to talk with my hands?
Yeah,
Yes.
Because I'm Italian.
exactly. So does your mouth work without your hands?
No, I am.
That was incredibly uncomfortable for her to sit on her
Yeah,
hands.
I can't do
She
it.
had
Wait, so this is bad.
No, it's not bad.
No,
it's
I
just,
talk with my hands.
We
it's just Allie.
It's Allie.
It's
I'm
Allie.
sorry.
I love it.
I
think we're going to have to do the handheld mic for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, like I have bumped into this so many times. Like I'm just Italian. I need to.
I love it.
I cannot do this.
I love it.
You're not that Italian because you don't have a mustache.
I shave it.
Most Italian women have a mustache.
I shave it.
Oh, okay.
Wax or
Actually-
shave?
The freaking facial razor thing.
Really?
Well, I mean, I did it like 2 days ago. No, it grows in kind of thick.
Wow.
Beepity boppity boop.
I'm lucky. I have blondies.
You're very lucky.
All girls have it. I have blondies.
No, freaking all everyone has it.
No, it's true.
Like
I know. Some people have it more than others.
I know. Like, oh my
Like
god, look
you
at
over
you.
there.
I know.
A little bit more than we do, but it's okay.
Probably. So do you have a terrible firing story?
I've got unfortunately a lot of termination stories.
Yeah, I get that.
Most of them are not funny at all.
No, they're usually sad.
Yeah, but there was
That's all right.
one. Oh, there's one that I'll share that wasn't a firing by me, but it ultimately was her getting terminated, and it was awesome. So one of the hotels I was at, there was an opening for a front office supervisor, and 2 people applied. So
Oh, wow.
the 2 in question were almost the same length of service,
Okay.
only off by like a month.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah.
As far as the employees themselves, very similar. Basically, all the criteria was really on par. So Associate A and Associate B want the same position. Associate A gets the job. B is the one that had been there a month longer. And in her mind, that was a deciding
So they're
factor.
all current employees that applied for this promoted position.
Yeah, we were trying to promote from within.
Got it.
So Associate A gets it, and Associate A doesn't change. Like Associate A is just
Like the same.
who she is. Yeah.
Okay.
Associate B becomes a backstabbing B
Ooh.
and
not
does
good.
That's
everything she can to undermine Associate A.
Oh.
Oh, ouch.
Now, Associate B also does other terrible things that an associate shouldn't do, like doing her homework on a front desk work computer.
Ugh.
I
Now,
deal with that.
I'm like, sure.
I deal
you
with
see
that.
that all the time.
unfortunately, I got
YouTube videos. Sorry, go on.
I got
I've seen
myself involved with a lot of drama with her because I called her out on it.
Ooh.
I go up to the front desk. I'm looking at her terminal. She's typing a homework assignment on the terminal on a fake phone call, ignoring people checking in to do her homework. Now, I'm not...
God.
Mouth drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
To basically, like, so guests are coming in, they think she's
Exactly.
busy and they don't bother her.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
WTF? Absolutely not.
Also that
that's different.
No.
also that she can do her homework.
Yep.
Okay, so
Dude, oh my God.
now I'm not her direct manager. So
Okay.
out of respect, I go to her manager, explain the situation. It's not acceptable. This is BS.
Yeah,
This can't go on.
Yeah.
agreed.
So Associate B's manager pulls her aside. Associate B denies it. Associate B flips it and says that I have an agenda against her.
Oh, of course.
Because I've caught her in the past and have told her, hey, you can't be doing your homework at work. You need to
right, of course, doing
be
your job.
present. Do your job.
Yep.
So that gets flipped on me. Associate B calls HR, makes a complaint. I get in trouble. Why?
You get
because
in trouble?
I call her out.
Right.
Wait,
So
you actually got
That's
in
what
trouble.
typically happens.
Well, I didn't
though.
get in trouble. I got interrogated.
You get talked to. You get talked to. Yeah.
No, I was interrogated.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
So this associate B, she causes so much trouble, like on the down low, that ultimately I ended up leaving. I couldn't work with this person anymore.
Okay.
And what really frustrated me is that no one was holding her accountable. But yet she was able to flip the script and make everybody else pay for the price. Now, here's the best part.
Managers.
So here's the best part though. So associate A, who had earned a promotion, like this person knew what she was doing. She got the promotion. She ended up leaving too. Associate B now has her chance. Associate B wiggles her way in to the space that's now vacated.
Yep. Oh, sneaky.
Here's the best part. After she weasels her way in, QA comes in. Now QA, quality assurance, they never announce. We never know when they're going to come.
Surprise.
They just show up. And when they show up, they're grading you, but you don't know it.
Absolutely.
So they check in, Associate B, who's now the supervisor. If I remember correctly, there were 50 available points for the check-in portion. And I want to say she scored 8.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Was she on a fake phone call? Please tell me.
I don't know about whether she was on a fake phone call or not, because I had already left the hotel.
Oh.
But she was a front desk supervisor for weeks, and then she was out of a job because she bombed the QA.
She bombed it.
Bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
To only get 8 points, by the way, a lot of those points are just gimmies. You'd have to seriously
a
mess
lot
up.
of them are gimmies. Like
Gimmies.
It's like easy.
Do you
points.
have a name tag on?
Yep.
4
5
points.
points.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Do you look
4?
the part? 5 points.
Are you in a uniform? Do you look professional?
Exactly.
3 points.
Exactly.
Like, she would have had to have messed up so
hard.
She
Very
did.
bad. Very, very bad.
She screwed the pooch across the board. That's why
my
they ended
God.
up firing her.
Karma.
That is major karma.
Because, and here's the thing. She bombed the arrival experience. The arrival experience
everything.
is a huge piece of
it's
the
a huge piece of puzzle.
of the QA audit.
That's
like 75%.
I would say that's most of the points right there.
Customer service is the biggest part of it.
Yeah, so she bombs that, resulting in the hotel failing overall.
Oh,
Now-
damn, that's hard.
Now, when a hotel fails, they have to go through a re-audit. When you get re-audited, it's outside of the franchise agreement. You're charged for the audit process, the travel, the stay,
That's
like
a lot.
everything.
Yeah.
It's an expensive mistake.
It honestly is.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Oh, God.
So
Audits.
not a termination story that I
no,
did,
but that is like a bad hire
I
situation.
love the karma factor.
Wait, can I say
I
this?
yes.
So the last property I worked with, my friend over here, our boss was always on him because our company was very lean and mean, and they criticized and critiqued our hours to like under a fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
And it felt like whatever Bill did, there was always something to be like, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And then we get the audit and we pass. We pass.
Yep.
But just barely. So Bill wasn't there at the time, but when they were doing the QA audit and they were announcing the results at the end of it, we were in this meeting space. There was a presentation, everything, and Bill wasn't there because it was his day off. And they actually said in it, we passed, but barely, and it's only because of housekeeping. And housekeeping, this auditor who had nothing to do with Bill,
Of course.
a third party, quote unquote, she's like, yeah, housekeeping and cleanliness saved you. And we aced housekeeping and like mediocred everything else, failed in the F&B area. And she said housekeeping is the only reason we passed. And we're sitting there in this meeting and we're all like, yay. My boss at the time was just like, nobody tell Bill. And said that. And what did I do? I went and immediately
30
texted.
seconds later.
I texted, we passed. And she said, it's only because of you.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, but QA audits are no joke in every major brand. They are life and death. Like they're
I have learned that.
everything.
No, thank you. I don't have to do audits anymore.
So we're going to end this here. Miss B, pleasure to have you back.
It was a blast. Thank you for having me.
Love having my fellow podcaster here with me.
It was awesome.
Allie, thank you for joining us. You did great
I attempted.
for your inaugural podcast.
Oh, Oh, thank you.
I would like to actually have you back. I want to hear more of the retail stories, and I'm sure everybody else will as well.
I got plenty more. Let me tell you.
How could you ever get tired of hearing about stories of people getting buck wild in a dressing room, peeing on the floor,
or taking dumps
in front of the register, etc. So
that is just the beginning. Let me say that.
Yeah, well, that's why we want you back.
I will come back.
So thank you for everybody that's listening.
Every single one of you.
Yeah,
it's been very fun
across the world. It's crazy to watch this grow and all the different people that come and all the different areas you download. We really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, so if you know someone that works in the service industry, works with the public, has crazy stories to share, and thinks that you might enjoy this, please share this with your friends. We would love the growth. On that note, though, thank you for listening, and we will catch you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Goodbye.